Japanese bases and outposts are on the early morning list for attention by the RAAF fighter and bomber boys in New Guinea.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Heavy Metal Diecast video, and today we have one here from Hobbymaster in 1/72nd scale diecast, and we have ourselves a Douglas A-20 Havoc, or is it a Douglas Boston? Well, that depends on who is using it. If the Americans are using it, we're calling it an A-20 Havoc, but this particular aircraft is an RAAF one, so it's a Commonwealth force, so we will be calling it a Douglas Boston, and this particular one is a Mk.IV from 22 Squadron based in New Guinea late 1944. Now, 22 Squadron was originally formed in 1936 and would be an active squadron throughout the entirety of World War II in the Pacific Theatre, fighting against Japanese forces. Now, on the 22nd of November 1944, our particular aircraft, along with 12 other RAAF Bostons, were destroyed on the ground in a Japanese air raid. So, this aircraft is no more, it's in pieces, but our model should not be in pieces, it should be in good condition, which it does look to be. Now, it does have the usual details in the flap of the aircraft and that awesome looking Hobbymaster aircraft sitting in there, waiting to be released, of course. So that's what we shall do. We will stop talking and get our hands on this awesome looking RAAF Douglas Boston. We'll be back in a second. Alright, here we have the Boston and its packet out of the box, and we need to get that lid off, of course, so we can check out this aircraft. Now, it does come with a little baggie of, I don't know what it is, so some little pieces that we maybe need to put on our aircraft. I'm not 100% sure. There are no instructions with this aircraft. So, and it does come with the normal Hobbymaster stand, of course. And let's see where we can pop this out. Oh, let's... Come on. Thank you. Whew. All right. Let's move that out of the way. And it does come, as you saw in that packet, with the usual sort of stuff for the gear down or gear up options. And, of course, this aircraft here, oh, this does look very nice. It is in a pretty nice sort of olive green. That looks pretty cool. Let's have a look at some of those panel lines. That does look very, very nice. Of course, it's another beautiful Hobbymaster rendition here. And you notice with a lot of the Allied aircraft in the Pacific Theatre, they don't have the red dot in the middle of these markings. That was to help distinguish it against the Japanese circle. So... they eliminated the red circle out of their roundels just so there would be no confusion, because you know you don't want to be shot down by friendlies, because that can happen. Oh, those propellers do spin nicely, of course. Eesh. And it's got some pretty cool markings at the front there. That's pretty cool. Hello. And it's got a nice little turret. Does that turret move? Yes. Oh, it moves. That is very nice. I'm not 100% sure if the guns do move. I don't want to force that issue. There was a pilot figure in the packet, so I'm assuming the canopy does... Oh, this whole piece comes off. Oh, excellent. Well, that's pretty cool. So you can see a little bit of detail in there. It's sort of a little bit hard. Yeah, that is a pretty big section to sort of pull off. There is... yeah, that is interesting. We will chuck that back on. But yeah, Hilda Shane. And it does have the mission markings on the side there, which is pretty cool. It does have some nice engine details there. And the gun details on the front. That is very nice. Beautiful markings along the back, of course. As I said, this is RAAF, so this is an Australian one. We're getting some representation. Let's turn it over and have a little look underneath. And that is how she looks underneath. Very straightforward. Got the usual nice lines throughout. The panel lines are pretty decent in this. And of course the spots for your landing gear options. Of course, your stand will be going in that hole if you're using your stand for when you put it in flight. And speaking of in flight, let's chuck this in either in flight or gear down. I will surprise you. And we'll be back in a moment with one of those options and check out this aircraft a little bit more complete. All right, back in a second. Alright, here we have this Douglas Boston set up for, you guessed it, in-flight first. So it's just a cover for each of the landing gear wheels, and that is it. So that is your, cool looking Douglas Boston from the RAAF set up for in-flight. And that is how she is going to look. Very straightforward. They all just push straight in without a drama. And of course, if you want to chuck it on your stand, you do get this stand. It is a 3-piece stand. It is all plastic. You just chuck that straight in your stand hole. It is a semi sort of cradle one. And that is in flight on the stand. Beautiful. And I reckon it looks pretty cool. Those propellers do spin really well. And I reckon this is definitely a nice little unit, of course. And of course, if you don't have a Boston or an A-20 Havoc in your collection, I recommend them. They do look pretty cool, whether you go for an RAAF one or an American one. I reckon all the liveries that they have been doing have been pretty nice. And this is a pretty cool one for me because it is Australian, of course. And, well, I'm Australian. So, but it is not the way I like to see mine. I want to see some landing gear hanging out of mine. So what we're going to do is we'll go off and set up this with some landing gear, and we'll come right back and we'll check it out gear down. Alrighty, here we have it gear down. Very straightforward. You just put your little blank piece in there, of course, for when you're not using the stand. And then the modules, 3 modules. They're all one piece, landing gear, gear bay doors, all one piece on either side, and you drop them in the main for the main wheels, and then of course your nose wheel right at the front. You just drop that straight in, and that is job done. Set up for gear down. And that is really nice, very straightforward, and very goddamn easy. So this is how your Boston will look when you have it gear down, and that looks pretty cool. Definitely, I reckon this is definitely a nice looking one. We'll chuck it on the deck like so. And that sets up beautifully. And of course, you do get a little pilot figure if you want to use him, of course. And you get these little pieces here. So I think these are some little pieces that you need to put on the engine nacelles for this particular version. I am not 100% sure. As I say, we open this for the very first time together. So it doesn't have any instructions, doesn't tell me what those little bits and pieces are for. But yeah. I am assuming that's what it might be for, because it does look like something that you would attach around sort of on the engines. I am not 100% versed in this particular aircraft. I know a little bit, but not a whole heap about all the different variants. But I reckon this one does look very nice. So, of course, this is by Hobbymaster in 1/72nd scale diecast, and it is one from the RAAF in 1944, and it would be destroyed in that Japanese air raid, unfortunately. But ours looks pretty good. Ours is complete. Ours does look very nice indeed. So I will do the usual. I'll take some photos of this and chuck them on at the end of the video, which we are winding up right now. If you enjoy this at all, hey, throw us one of those if you can find that button, of course. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy what you see today, or if you enjoy any of the other videos we do. And I do appreciate everyone that does take the time to subscribe and like my videos. I appreciate it always. All right, thanks again for watching. I will say goodbye and let you check out those photos right now. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. You have a great rest of your day. Cheers, everyone.